Hello, hello.
Hello, sir. Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Thank you. I just test it.
So let's wait for some time. We will start in short time duration. Thank you. We can wait for 2 minutes. HOD sir may be arriving in few minutes.
HOD sir is here, so you can start.
Okay, sir. Hello. Good evening, everyone. I am Shashi Priya, Research Scholar, Department of Physics, IIT Guwahati. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Breaking Barrier in Science, hosted by SPIE Student Chapter, IIT Guwahati. I welcome all students and professors and sending my warm regards to all and your family. Hoping all you are in good health and mind. During the situation of COVID-19 pandemic, nature has made us realize development especially in the field of optics and photonic technology. So before being started, I would like to go over a few things so you know how to participate in today's event. Because of numbers of requests received from participants, we have changed the platform from GeoMeet to Google Meet and YouTube Live. If you are on Google Meet, please make sure that you turn off your video and microphone muted during the meeting. If you are using Google Meet for the first time, please log in your Google account and give access to your microphone and video. Otherwise, you may face difficulty when you have something to ask to the speaker. If you are on Google Meet and have something to ask to the speaker, you may turn on your video and audio at that time. If you do not see the presenter's screen, you can pin his presentation to see it. If you are on YouTube Live Meet, feel free to interact with speakers in any of the three languages, English, Hindi, or in Assamese. With this now, I would like to request Rajnandan, President of SPIE Student Chapter, IIT Guwahati, to briefly introduce you about SPIE Student Chapter.
Thank you, Shashi Priya. Respected HOD sir, our speaker Sidananda sir, Rakesh sir, and all the faculty members present, and all the participants. I welcome you all to this event, Breaking Barriers in Science. I'm Rajnandan, the president of this SPIE Student Chapter IIT Guwahati. Basically, I will give a brief introduction to what SPIE is, who are we, what do we do, and what is this event for. So we are a team of 17 members at present, headed by Professor Taraknath Dey, our faculty advisor, Partha, and Akanshu. Our chapter was formed on 30th October 2020. So this year we will be completing 5 years. To make it special, we shall be hosting a number of events this month for school students, UG students, for masters and PhD scholars. I would like to thank our previous faculty advisors, Professor T.N. Dey, Professor Ashwini Kumar Sarma, Professor Basantaranjan Borua, Professor Amarendra Kumar Sarma, and our ex-presidents, Mr. Nagendra, Sumit, Gautam, Biswajit, and their teams. The main objective of our chapter is to inspire students towards science, mainly optics, and to highlight various scopes, research developments, and inventions in optics and its relevant areas. We try to achieve them through various chapter activities, workshops, outreach, visiting lectures, teaching, International Day of Light celebration, quiz competitions, and many more. In optics outreach, we visit universities or colleges and organize a day-long event. So far, we have visited Boruland University, Upkam College, Nagaon College, Dibrugarh University, Hemaji College, Cotton College. In optics teaching, we go to schools to interact with students. Here are some memories from. So far, many faculty members are also invited by us to our department. We had a colorful journey. There is pen strike and made everything dark. Many of us had to struggle hard for food, for study, and even to live. But slowly we learned many new things. We learned the virtual classroom, we started seeing hope, and we started realizing, yes, this is not completely dark. This lecture series, Breaking Barriers in Science on this World, World Mental Health Day is to bring light in this not so dark situation. Dr. Sidananda sir will give us light on the future options in science and technology, the barriers on this path, and how to prepare for them. And I think this is probably a serious concern of every student, which costs us many nights without sleep. Rakesh sir will help us realize even if we do not get what we wish for, it is not the end. We still have the hope to go forward in life. With this, I conclude my presentation and I hope you all have a great time ahead. Now I request our HOD, Sir, Professor Subhadip Ghosh sir, to say a few words. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rajnandan. On behalf of Department of Physics, I am delighted to be invited for saying a few words in this format. So SPIE, as Rajnandan had said, keeps on organizing many meetings, many outreaches to various parts of Assam. And it has been very successful in promoting science in general and optics research in particular among the school and the college students who otherwise do not have enough access to get to know about the frontline research in these areas. So this year, unfortunately, these outreaches cannot be done. So it's a really innovative idea on part of them to arrange this lecture series, and which is very apt for the reason the day is being observed, the World Mental Health Day. And as Rajnandan has said, of course, this is a concern for all of us. It's not just the students who are probably most at the receiving end, but it is also us for the teachers. Because no matter how well you are technologically and how good the connectivity to the virtual classroom is there, it can never supplement the human element, the human touch, the feeling of being, in front of an audience who are energetic, enthusiastic, who want to know the world, want to get some guidances. So I'm sure everybody is missing that part. But nevertheless, we have to live with hope, and we hope that these darker days are behind, and we can only look forward for better days from here. In fact, Rajnandan himself is an example. I would say, I wouldn't be exaggerating if I say that he's an inspiration, because he was infected, his entire family was infected with COVID-19. And yet he stood his ground, his entire family stood their ground, and here we are. Today he is addressing you as the student representative, student office bearer of SPIE. So I'm sure that our speakers would be able to sort of give a very nice motivational talks in this format, and I sincerely wish that very soon SPIE goes out there in the fields with their equipments and with all the enthusiasm they have to start rolling the wheel behind before Corona where we were. Thank you very much.
Thank you, HOD sir, for your nice introductory words. Now we shall be proceeding towards our events. Our first speaker, Dr. Sidananda Sarma sir. So he is the senior technical officer in the Department of Physics, IIT Guwahati, and he shall be giving a talk on career options in science and technology. Dr. Sidananda Sarma, sir, he is a
So
well-known
thank you
researcher
so
in the
much, sir.
Department of
I
Physics.
friendly.
Okay, Sasitya is live, so he will give the introduction.
In live actually. So, and today we are supposed to have our faculty advisor of SPIE student chapter, Professor Tarak Nade, sir. But unfortunately, due to some prior commitment, he is unable to join us. So, for today's event, we have two potential speakers with us. Dr. Sidanand sir, who will be talking about career option in science and technology. And Rakesh Kakati sir, he will be talking about hope, the way forward. Before introducing to our speaker, I have a small announcement. We can have a group photo after first talk, and I request the participant to get prepared for that. So for group photo, one needs to keep their microphone muted and turn on their videos. Okay. Now let me introduce you about our speaker, Dr. Sidanand sir. Dr. Sidanand, Department of Physics, IIT Guwahati. He did his schooling in Brahmapur Higher Secondary School. After that, he went to Nalgaon College for graduation, earned his master's from Cotton College, Guwahati. He received his PhD from IIT Guwahati. He mainly works in the area of condensed matter physics and material science. Currently, he is Senior Technical Officer in Department of Physics, IIT Guwahati. He has been associated with various outreach educational activities and has been delivering career-oriented talks for school and college students at various events for years. He is also an integral part of our SPI IIT Guwahati student chapter. If you have any questions during the talk, you will have an opportunity to submit text question by typing your question in chat box. We will collect these and address them during the question and answer session at the end of the talk. With this, I welcome Dr. Sidanand sir and hand over the floor.
Thank you, Susipriya.
Sir, please.
Yeah, thank you, Rajnandan. So, good evening to all of you. Today, I would like to talk about the career prospects of science students. So, before talking something at the outset, I would like to offer my sincere gratitude to all the members of SPI students chapter IIT Guwahati and faculty in charge of SPI IIT Guwahati chapter. Today,
Ananda sir is
sorry,
some internet
connection problem. Is it audible now? Rajnandan, is it audible now?
Yes, sir, it is
Yes, sir.
audible.
Yes, sir. You are audible now.
Okay. So, being an employee of IIT Guwahati and employee of physics department, it's my duty to say a few words about my department or about my institute. So I am going to present my PPT. Okay. Okay. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it is visible.
So my talk will be on career option in science and technology. So this is my institute, IIT Guwahati, and many of you might have visited the IIT Guwahati campus. It's a very beautiful campus among all the IITs. This is our computer center. This is our computer center, and this is our library. It's called Lakshminath Bezbarua Central Library. This is our admin building. And this is our most important part of the institute academic complex. This is the hostel for students, and this is our physics department. And these are the different labs. So the physics family, we have 39 faculty members, 11 technical staff, 3 administrative staff, 6 postdoctoral fellow, and 130 PhD student, 90 MSc student, and 150 Btech students. We have different labs. There are some snapshots of our laboratories. We have different central labs. It's called XRD lab, X-ray diffraction lab, VSM lab for measuring the magnetism property of some material, laser and photonics lab, fiber optics lab, holography and optical imaging lab, laser cooling lab, femtosecond laser lab, semiconductor lab, low temperature lab, magnetism lab, solid state lab, material science lab, furnace lab, high energy physics lab, and so on. So all are, most of them are listed here. We have different teaching labs, and all labs are equipped. It's a advanced lab equipped with AC and computers. Now coming to the point, it's a breaking barrier in science. Today the event is breaking barrier in science. And if we say barrier in science, so it has been observed that most of the students, they don't opt science as a career because there are some lack of information. It is believed that science is very tough. It is not for all, okay? And lots of money will be required to pursue science. Also, there is a belief that we have to work hard, but it's true that, equally true, that even in the commerce and arts, everywhere, people have to work hard to get something. So there is no freelance in this world. Everybody has to work hard. So we no need to have a misconception that science is very tough and science is not for all. It's for all. Rather, if I compare with the humanities subject or commerce subject, we feel science is much easier if we understand the subject properly. So about the career prospect, science you can, from the science you can divide into 2 parts. One is pure science and another is applied science. So pure science, again, you can divide into 2 parts, maths category, say physics, chemistry, mathematics, statistics, computer science. These maths are the essential part of this category. And another part is the biology category, where you can include the botany, zoology, geology, etc. And in applied science, there are engineering, medical, both of things are, people are mostly aware about it. But there are some other options also, say agriculture, community science. Before few years back, it was known, community science was known as a home science. But now it is believed that home science is not only for ladies, it's the boys also can opt for the home science, and later it was changed to the community science, pharmacology, nursing, paramedical, etc. Now, thing is that people have the idea about the medical and engineering, but I don't know about you people. I'm talking about the young students. Okay, so when I was in 10 plus 2, I did not have any idea about what is mechanical engineering doing, what is civil engineering doing, or what is marine engineering doing. So, but that time I had some idea that engineer means somebody will be sitting in a coat and tie and will be signing in an office. So that kind of image only there. Doctors means I had the idea that okay, with a nice car, somebody will come and somebody will see somebody, some will treat, somebody give some medicine. But what to study in the medical, what to study in engineering, or what to study in the agriculture, other things. I believe now also there are many people who does not know that what kind of things to study in the mechanical engineering or civil engineering. So I would like to tell a few things about the mechanical and civil engineering, this kind of things. So just I will go one by one in medical. So there are many branches, say allopathy, Ayurveda, dental, homeopathy. So in a broad case, medical people has to learn about the physiology, the anatomy of the human body, and so lots of people have to spend lots of time about their study, many things to be remembered, because the biological things, the nomenclature or some other things also, many things you need to remember. So the people who opt for medical, they should have habit of reading for a long time and should have a good memory. But in engineering, I think we can slightly say that it does not require much memory, but you should have a logical mind, you should have a proper understanding about the matter. So in mechanical, most generally we read about the machines. Nowadays, the common term is the robot. So in mechanical, we study about the robot. So it's actually mechatronics, mechanical and electronics, combination of mechanical and electronics. In civil engineering, student used to read about the this thing, construction of building, construction of pavement, traffic management, water management, erosion management in the river, so planning of the city, those kinds of things will be required. So both mechanical, civil, you should have a good knowledge about the mathematics. Of course, computational is another essential part, but that you no need to worry now, because during the course of time, everybody will be comfortable with the computational works. CSC, computer science engineering, you know about the computer science. So there are two parts, hardware and software. It's like making apps, developing some codes, some languages, these kind of things. There also you should have a proper logical thinking and good mathematical knowledge. Electronics and communication engineering, EC. So that things, of course, many of you may know about it. Electrical and electronics engineering, information technology, which is a part of the means computer knowledge, and some other knowledge also required. Marine, you know, it's a knowledge about the ocean and means ocean related things. Aeronautical engineering, you know about the space and the space, aeroplane, all these things, development of the aeroplane, movement, traffic signaling, all these things are covered here. And then it's a biotechnology. These things, you know, it's a engineering, botany, zoology, life science, all these things. And nowadays in the COVID, biotechnology is playing an important role. And then architecture. Architecture, it's a designing of city, designing of building. And there is just another course called design. It's maybe industrial design, it's maybe a house design, it may be a car design. So various kinds of designing works are included here. Another part is the veterinary. That, of course, many of you know about the veterinary. It's related to the animal, health of the animals. Agriculture, forestry, community science. Community science, again, now there are lots of things are included here, like nutrition, food and nutrition, diabetics, and this management, resource management, human management, community management. Lots of things are involved in the community science. And there are some, I'm putting another column, it's others. It's interdisciplinary works. It's not a purely civil or purely mechanical or purely biological things, but it's a mixture of many things. It's like a nanotechnology. So nanotechnology is a mixture of physics, chemistry, biology, electronics. All branches of the science and engineering are included here. So here, now it's a very important area, nanotechnology. People are, in the medicine, health area, lots of development has been occurred in the nanotechnology area. People are developing apparels, clothes, which no need to wash. It's a miniature of the circuits. First speed up the this measurement process. Lots of things are involved in the nanotechnology. Another is the rural technology. It's related to the technical work in the village, who work in the agriculture farm or horticulture, other things. Energy, as you know, it's solar energy, wind energy, electrical energy, and management of all this energy, production, management, all these things are involved here. Forensic science, you might know about forensic science. It's related to the investigatory things. Petroleum technology, coal technology, food technology. It's a very important part. Long back, actually, there are many places where the farmers used to throw away their product things because they could not sell it or they could not store it properly. And in the development of food technology, now they can preserve the things for a long time. They can prepare things like milk. Previously, long back, actually, when the milk production is more, people used to throw away the milks. Now you can produce milk. From the milk, you can make butter, paneer, all sweets, different cheese and other things can be done. And this is due to the improvement of the food technology. Food and nutrition science. Many times, actually, it is believed that actually instead of medicine, if we can take food properly, if we have the proper management of food, what to take and what not to take, if we have a proper knowledge, then that may help you to make a good health. Horticulture is an important part. So previously, actually, it did not get a proper importance, but nowadays horticulture, particularly the flower, the kitchen garden, all these things, people are more interested. Sericulture also another important area. Microbiology, fashion design, textile. So people are developing the natural dyes, the different texture of the cloths, use of different clothes, different design of the clothes. It's involved in the textile engineering. The paramedical things like the X-ray, the operation theater management, the instrument management in the operation theater or critical care. These kind of things are involved. Physiotherapy and yoga and pranayama also getting the importance. Nowadays, most of the people, particularly in the COVID time, people used to do yoga regularly, pranayama regularly to keep their health healthy. And there are many areas. So these are these are the interdisciplinary area where actually you should have the knowledge of different areas, but it's by using different concept of different areas, you can use it for some practical purpose. So now we'll go to the career, how to start. So before, after 10 plus 2, even we can start from 10th. Of course, now the new education policy has come, and then now people will study from 9 to 12 together at a means without any break. But previously, after 10 also, people used to go for the ITI and polytechnics. So ITI give the certificate course in different engineering areas like electrical, electronics, computer, and welding, fitter. This kind of career option was there. The IIT, ITI, going to the ITI. Polytechnic, it gives the diploma in different engineering subject. Now we'll come to the joint entrance examination, JEE, that most of the people nowadays know about the JEE. It has two parts. This is the JEE main and JEE advanced. So JEE main is conducted by the CBSE, and then there is a screening process. Those who qualify in JEE mains, they will go to the JEE advanced, and from the JEE advanced, students are selected for IIT, IJARS, ISI, Indian Statistical Institute, or ISE, Indian Institute of Science, etc. Of course, there are some other institute also who takes, some university also takes student from IIT main or IIT advanced. Particularly the NITs, they take the students from JEE main. There is some exam in the state level. There is state level entrance examination for engineering course. For different state, actually they organize state level entrance examination for the engineering courses. Other entrance examination for NIJAR. NIJAR is a National Institute of Science, Education and Research. It's like a IJAR. We'll talk about NIJAR and IJAR later. NATA, this is a national level examination. It's for the architecture. The colleges who have a good reputation on the architecture, they select the student from the NATA, and the entrance, generally the entrance they organize during the June-July month. You know about the NEET, it's a medical entrance. Nowadays, NEET has been conducted for all medical colleges. So only one exam for the medical. One thing I think many people do not know about the U-sheet and sheet. The U-sheet, this is the exam for the design course in IIT. Only few IITs have the design course. One is IIT Guwahati, IIT Bombay, IIT Hyderabad, and a postgraduate course in IIT Delhi. So many of you may not know that U-sheet can be appeared from the other stream also. The students from the arts background or student from the commerce background also can appear U-sheet, and the deep knowledge of physics, chemistry, these are not required in U-sheet. You should have a good logical mind, reasoning capacity, and you should have a good knowledge about the design, about the art, the 3D, 2D, 3D picture, 2D picture, how you can convert a 3D scenery into 2D. This kind of knowledge is required for U-sheet, and the advertisement just it came out. I think registration also over for this year. Exam is conducted generally December or January, and this is a very good opportunity for the student who opt for the design or who like to go for the drawing and art, this kind of things, who love to work designing many new things. There are other things also. It's like agriculture, as I said, agriculture, community science, forestry, fishery, horticulture, veterinary, sericulture. Uh, these are also potential area people can opt for these things. So I would like to add one more sentence here, because last year I think I got a phone call from a student. He said that I lost everything. I could not qualify JEE. So then I said that, what is this? You could not qualify JEE? Nothing, because JEE, there are limited seats in JEE, and about 5-10 lakhs students will appear JEE. Only around 50,000 students will be selected. So there is a chance that somebody may not get the opportunity to study in IIT. But that does not mean that you have lost everything. Even if you do not select, means you do not select in JEE, you have some other opportunity. You can, if you have the passion of engineering, you can go for the other engineering courses also, or you can go for other engineering colleges also. And if you are really interested to study in IITs, after BTech, again you can come for doing Mtech here. Because if you perform well in GATE examination, you can again come back to the IIT Guwahati for doing Mtech. You can do PhD here. You can do MSc, Mtech here. So if you don't qualify in IIT, that does not mean that you have lost everything. So there are other things also, apart from engineering also. These are agriculture, community science, forestry, fishery, horticulture, veterinary, sericulture. These kind of areas also very potential area. So this area one can select. And I just want to tell one small story today. Today morning, actually, I received a phone call from my friend. She is Dr. Swapnali Bora. She is now working as a professor in Central Agriculture University, Tura. So she like to go for a medical. I'm talking about the things in 1988. So she, her mark was not sufficient to got admission in the medical colleges. But, and many people advise her that, okay, since you did not get the medical, you drop for one more year, or you go for the some other arts, humanities courses, or general science courses. But she selected the home science. That time it was called home science. Now it is known as a community science. And then she did BSc in community science, MSc in community science, and then she appeared a entrance for a scholarship, and she topped in that exam. And finally, she got opportunity to do PhD in Punjab Agriculture University. She performed very well during the PhD time, and then she got the job in Agriculture University. And now she is very happy. So this time taking decision also important things. Actually, if you disqualify in some area, it does not mean that you are you don't have the capacity, you don't have the potential. We everybody have some potential. We everybody can do some good work, but we should take the decision properly. We should not lose the hope. So this I already spoke, JEE Main, JEE Advanced. So these students are taken from ISM Dhanbad, NITs, IITs, IJAR, IICSI, and some university. Okay, so we have 23 numbers of IIT. Since I am from IIT Guwahati, so I should tell about IIT system. So we have 23 numbers of IIT. These are the whole IITs. IIT Kharagpur is the oldest one. Then IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, IIT Kanpur, IIT Delhi, and then IIT Guwahati. So we have lots of opportunity. One can do BTech and the admission procedure is through JEE Advanced. People can come to do MSc in Physics, Chemistry, Mathematics through JAM exam. This JAM is again conducted by the IITs in national level. So after BSc, one can appear in the JAM exam and they can come for the MSc exam. There is another opportunity, it's called Mtech. The people who qualified BTech or BE, they can appear in the GATE exam, and if they can perform well in GATE exam, they can come for the Mtech and to perform Mtech here. And there's the opportunity for the humanities student also. In IIT Guwahati also there is a course, it's called MA in Development Studies. So people from the humanities background with political science, history, English, sociology, Sanskrit, philosophy, they can come for doing master's course in development studies here. And many students from the different areas are coming here and they are doing well. They're getting opportunity to do the PhD in abroad after qualifying here the MA exam. There's, as I said, there's a course called BDES. We have a design department. Only few IITs at the design department. They offer the BDES course. And for BDES course, one has to qualify UCD exam. And for MDES course, Master of Design, one has to qualify SEED course. And all the departments like mechanical, chemical, biotechnology, physics, chemistry, computer science, electrical, electronics, in all the areas one can do the PhD. So for PhD, again, one has to qualify NET or GATE exam. There are some other opportunity also, Prime Minister Research Fellowship, Ramanujam Fellowship, DST Fellowship. So there are lots of fellowship is offering by the government or some other organization, and one can do PhD here. And the scholarship also very, I can say it's a good amount of scholarships students are getting monthly, about 30,000 per month. So one can do PhD work without any financial tension. So since I'm from physics, I would like to say about the physics. It's in IIT Guwahati, we have a course called Engineering Physics. So this is also again selected from JEE Advanced. This Engineering Physics actually it's a applied course, and the student who qualified Engineering Physics from Physics Department IIT Guwahati, they got a good placement here. People can do MSc in Physics, Mtech in Physics. Many IITs, they offer Mtech in different areas of physics. One can do PhD. There are some IITs and ISC Bangalore, they offered the integrated MSc, integrated PhD course. Even after PhD also, one can come for postdoctorate study. It's called Institute Postdoctorate Fellow. And there is a National Postdoctorate Fellow. If people are getting good scholarship, so after PhD, one can come and do some research work here. The institute is offering all the facilities for doing research, and only thing, they have to select some mentor from the department, and he can do independent research work as a IPDF or NPTF. Also, Physics Department, IIT Guwahati, and the other department also, they offer short-term research projects. Student with MSc or PhD can come to the institute for doing short-term research work as a research associate or ZRF. For doing physics, there are some other institutions also. Almost all universities, they offer the MSc courses in physics. most of the IITs, they offer physics. I want to tell especially about the ISAR. This is called Indian Institute of Science Education and Research, and the National Institute of Science Education and Research. Just after a few minutes, I will talk about these things. And there is a two premier institute. It's called ISC. It is located in Bangalore, ISC Bangalore, and Indian Statistical Institute located at Kolkata. These two premier institute also offering the physics course or mathematics based courses. Of course, student can go for the foreign university. Only they have to qualify some exam. It's called TOEFL or this TOEFL or what? I just forgot it. There are some exam they have to qualify, and there are some fellowship offered by the government of India. Even the other foreign universities also, they are offering some fellowship. But now, because of this COVID situation, of course, we cannot think of it. But hope these things will, the situation will come to the normal, and we can, our student also can go abroad for doing Master of Science or Master of MS or PhD there. So as I said that I want to talk about the Indian Institute of Science Education and Research. These are the MSRD sponsored institute. We have 7 ISARs. It's ISAR Kolkata, ISAR Berhampur, ISAR Tiruvananthapuram, ISAR Tirupati, ISAR Pune, ISAR Bhopal, and ISAR Mohali. These are the institute specially designed for science education, and they offer the BS and MS dual degree program. After 12, there are 3 way to reach the ISAR. One is the KVPY program. During the class 11 or 12, the student can appear in the KVPY exam, and this exam is an important exam. Those who qualify KVPY and have a good marks, they can directly join in the ISARs. The ISARs also taking student from JEE Advanced, and they have their own entrance exam also. The student who do well in the 10 plus 12 or board examination, generally the cutoff mark they decide around 93% or 92%. Last time I think it was 93%. So the student who qualify means who qualify well in these courses, means in board exam, they can go for the entrance exam and they can get admission in the ISARs. This is another important institute, National Institute of Science Education and Research. It's called NISAR. It's located in Bhubaneswar. It's called Jatni, this area. A very nice institute. It's sponsored by Department of Atomic Energy, and funding. They have a good funding. They have good laboratories, and they have a good collaboration with the foreign institution. Here they organize some entrance for integrated MSc degree program, and they have the PhD program. So after 12, one can go for the integrated MSc degree program, where you can do BSc and MSc together. This is the very premier institute, Indian Institute of Science, ISC Bangalore. They have bachelor program, master's program, and PhD program. So 6 major disciplines they offer: the bachelor program, biology, chemistry, arts and environmental science, materials, mathematics, and physics. Apart from that, there is a opportunity to do PhD work or postdoctoral work in the ISC Bangalore. It's a very nice institute, and student can think of this kind of institute also as a career option. This is another institute, Indian Statistical Institute. This is they actually offer Bachelor of Statistics, and it's statistics is a very important area nowadays. People, particularly in the artificial intelligence, in the robots, the statistics are now playing a major role. So now this course also important course. It's a people can student can think of this kind of course also. Since this talk is organized by the SPI, it's a International Society for Photonics. So I should tell a little about the photonics, the opportunity and job prospect of the optics. The optical communication. Previously, a small example, but long back actually, when we used to phone to somebody else, the communication was done by the electrical way. Signal was electrical signal, so there was some delay. But optical communication, it is very fast nowadays. Due to optical communication, we can communicate to the others very fast because light moves in a very high speed. Sensor technology, fiber optic sensors, material synthesis. It's called, by using a laser, one can deposit the thin films, and then different kinds of materials, a different layer of materials can be synthesized, and very the electric or electronic circuits, the miniature of the electronic circuits is possible by the development of the thin film, and the optics is playing a major role on these things. Laser cooling of atoms, Rajnandan, he is working on laser cooling of atoms. Holography and optical imaging, this is also another important area. And quantum computation, it's a very fast computation, and computation can be done by using this quantum computation. And there's a good prospect of jobs, particularly the medical imaging, astronomical work, interferometry, or coating in the glasses. So there are different areas where after qualifying, means after doing research in the optics, or after doing Mtech or masters in optics, one can join in some industry, some research institute, or some academic institute. So job prospect also very high. The Rajnandan and the other SPI member, I think, can talk about these things more elaborately. And as I said, that the financial things is a very important things, particularly while people are doing PhD, he has to work for 4 or 5 years. So the fellowship is very important, because after qualifying masters, you cannot bring money from your home for another 4 or 5 years. So fellowship is very important. So different institute, IITs, ISC or ISRs, they are offering the fellowship. There are some organizations, DST, CSIR, they offer fellowship for doing PhD. There is another important fellowship, it's called Ramanujam Fellowship, JC Bose Fellowship, KVPY Fellowship, Prime Minister Research Fellowship. These different fellowship scope is there. So I do not want to elaborate these things, because once you are qualifying, then automatically you will get to know about all these things. All the informations are available in the Google and the website of their respective institution or organizations. So I would like to conclude here. My sincere acknowledgement to Rajnandan and all the past and present members of the SPI Students Chapter IIT Guwahati. I would like to thank you, all of you, for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sidananda sir, for nice talk. And I think students have really benefited from your talk. With this, I open the floor for questions. Anybody from participant want directly to ask question to speaker, you can unmute your microphone and turn your video on. So here is first question from Partha. Sir, do you think NEP will give student a good exposure to educational system?
Can you repeat? So, Supriya, can you repeat?
Do you think, yes sir, do you think NEP will give student a good exposure in educational system?
Yeah, definitely. The students who have been doing the engineering physics in IITs, they're doing well because they have the wide knowledge. They have the knowledge about the physics. They have the knowledge about the computational work, and so people are getting job in different organization. Also, people are getting doing further research in some reputed or premier institutes like the space organization ISRO and IUCA. People have been going there for doing research. So EP is a good scope, I think.
Okay, sir. So we have another question. Is it possible for student to pursue career in robotics after BSc Physics?
After BSc Physics, actually there is no any constraint that you can start anything at any time. So robotics people means after BSc one can come for the MSc course, and then during MSc period they will study the electronics, and then they can work on the robotics also. So it's depend on the interest. If people have the interest, I think the BSc or BTech, it's not a barrier.
Okay, sir. We have one more question. Since this week itself, the JE Advanced Counseling procedure has started. Can you add something more on how specifically a student should think while opting a branch in list, the direction and thought process, self-assessment, etc.?
I think I don't want to comment on this because it depends on the interest. Just I want to tell one thing. All the areas are good. All have the good potential. It depends on the interest. So if the student they don't have the interest on the computational work and they come for the CS just by getting more marks in the JE advance, so it will not work well. Or sometimes the student actually who have the good passion on the instrument machines, they should opt for the mechanical engineering. There should not be any classification that okay CS is better or chemical is better, because it depends on the interest. One should first see their area. Actually the chemical or mechanical, as I said, uh, they say some student he has a good passion about the construction of the buildings, management of the traffic, he should go to the civil engineering. He should not go to the computer science. So selection of branch, it should depends on the student and their passion.
Okay, it looked like we have covered all questions. Thank you, sir. Now I
Okay.
request
Thank you, Supriya.
participants to keep their video on and microphone muted for group photo. So please turn on your videos so that we can go for.
I think no one is interested to give their vote. Can you? Hello. Can you all please turn on your video so that we can take a group photo? Hello. Hello. Okay, then proceed to the next part. So I now request Cecilia to take over, please.
Okay, thank you everyone. Now you can turn off your videos off. Today is 10th of October and every year on this day is observed as World Mental Health Day with overall objective of raising awareness and mental health issue around the world and mobilizing effort in support of mental health. The day provides an opportunity for all stakeholders working on mental health issue to talk about their work and what more needs to be done to make mental health a care a reality for people worldwide. So with this, now I would like to introduce our next speaker, Rakesh Psychologist, College Bangalore, the pioneering institute for the subject in India. The BA honors in psychology from Zakir Hussain Delhi College, Delhi University. He has been serving in the field since 2014 with his involvement with various not-for-profit platforms as a resource person where he holds seminar, etc. He has been senior counselor at day boarding school in the city. He has been associated with IIT Guwahati since 2015 and has served as a member of different committees such as well-being and substance abuse control and remediation committee. Mr. Rakesh worked actively with individuals facing trying circumstances in the form of reverent academic pressure, familial discord, adjustment issue, etc., along with those who are suffering from various conditions such as anxiety disorder, depression, bipolar disorder, etc. For any and everyone, especially from IIT Guwahati committee, for any mental health concern. His office is at Center of Holistic Wellbeing, New SAC Building, IIT Guwahati. So for just a reminder, please be sure to type your questions in chat box. With this, I hand over the meeting to Rakesh sir. Sir, please.
Hello, sir. Sir, you are not audible.
Hello, sir. Please unmute your microphone. I think he has some network issue. He will be connecting.
Hello,
Yes, sir, you are audible now.
Rajandan. Hello.
Sir, we can see you also. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir,
Yes,
we
sir,
can
you
hear
are
you.
audible.
Okay, great. I was starting to get a little bit worried. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. So, good evening, everyone. I actually kind of enjoyed what the last speaker, Dr. Sidananda, was speaking about. So, along with telling you all about the various opportunities available to students, he also said a few very important points that I would also, um, throw some light upon, such as being passionate and having following a field that you're very interested in, and how that itself propels you towards working hard and towards succeeding. Success becomes effortless. Okay, we'll come to that. And I quite enjoyed his overall talk, and I'm glad that students had asked questions to him, clarifying a lot of their own doubts. So it was great. I enjoyed it. So in the beginning, I would like to congratulate everyone on World Mental Health Day that is celebrated across the world today. Today is the 10th of October, and a very important day for us psychologists and psychiatrists, and actually anyone who's connected to mental health field. even psychiatric nurses or the nurses in the hospitals that are dealing with serious cases of mental health problems. So I would like to tell you a little bit about what really mental health means, okay, in the beginning. And I want this lecture to be not too long, but I want it to be very interactive, okay. So when I mean interactive, I want questions, lot of questions from you all, and that could pertain to anything, okay. So mental health is not the absence of problems. Mental health doesn't mean you have no problems. Mental health doesn't mean that you have absolutely complete control over your life and complete control over your emotions. It doesn't mean that. Okay, so mental health is on a continuum. On the very end, there is, great mental health. On the other end, there is not so great mental health, and we all human beings, we lie somewhere along that continuum. But as in most cases with mental health, it is not it's not very much possible to measure it. Okay, so we don't know who is in a good mental health or who is in a bad mental health. Okay, so at the end of the day, if we are okay, if we are dealing with our problems okay, and if we are managing our own emotions properly, or we are able to cope up with the challenges that life throws at us, then we can safely assume that we have decent to good mental health, and that is something that is a luxury. A lot of individuals today, because of different challenges from their biology or from their social settings, cannot do not have that luxury of saying that I have great mental health, because probably most of the time goes into experiencing a lot of suffering and a lot of problems that come with mental health challenges, So I want to tell you a little bit about what the importance of hope. Okay, so when I say hope, hope is the single most important factor in our personal lives. And what it means, that it doesn't mean that I hope that I'm going to become the president tomorrow. It doesn't mean that. So hope is having a positive outlook, of having a faith in your destiny, that things will be okay. I mean, our generally whatever our heart wants, sometimes it's not possible, but we can always assure ourselves that whatever happens is going to be okay. I am going to be okay. This is a very important tool to have in our arsenal of towards a better mental health. I am going to be okay. Life is going to be okay. My problems are going to be okay. I will be able to handle it. Okay, so since we are talking about barriers in science, I would like to bring to your notice on how various scientific discoveries and groundbreaking scientific inventions have taken place. All power of hope, all power of hope. Unless those scientists and those professionals were really hopeful that their theories, that their hypotheses would be proven correct, they wouldn't have pursued it, right? Don't you think so? So hope is the mother of all possible advances in science or in any field. Unless I'm hopeful that my experiments, that my theory, that my ideas are going to give me some solid result, some measurable empirical data, I'm not going to pursue it, because I'm hopeful that things are going to turn out to a good extent according to what I feel. uh, I'm going to pursue it, right? So hope is also a driving force in the science, in the fields of sciences and mathematics and all other fields. Okay, for example, Wright brothers, when their first prototypes did not fly, they weren't like, oh, let's just leave it. I mean, flying is impossible for mankind. No, it didn't happen. They pursued, they persevered, and they ended up designing something that could give lasting flight to human beings. So hope is the single most ingredient in today's day and age, especially today when corona is causing such problems in our personal lives, and we don't have our friends to visit, or we don't have that social circle that we had on campus. So I'm assuming a lot of us are from the IIT campus, right? Or even if you're not, corona is something that has affected everyone. So this holds true for everyone indeed in the current times. So it's very important to realize that even corona or any other pandemic, even even if it feels impossible, it is important to supply yourself with hope that this pandemic is not forever. It is going to be it is going to self resolve. It is going to be okay eventually it is going to be okay. Unless I feel hopeful, I will have no strength to carry on my daily activities, to carry on my responsibilities. Okay, so it is very important to supply ourselves with that vitamin every morning on an empty stomach. Very important that we tell ourselves that things will be okay. you know so I would like to tell you a little bit about, since I was told that there will be students from who are pre-undergrads or even undergrads. So I want to, connecting to what Dr. Sidanand was speaking as well, it is important that we, to the best of our ability, try to match our interests with the career we choose. I think the worst thing possible for a human being is to be stuck in a career that drains you, that you don't feel good about, that you feel that you have to drag yourself in the morning, because this topic in your PhD or this area of research it's not going with you. It's not, you don't feel naturally a pull towards that topic. Most scientists, most top technocrats, or top academics in the world whose books we read today, if you go and meet them, they will be very relaxed individuals. You know why? Because for them, the field that they are in, it's not hard work, or it's not pull. It's not difficult. It is something that they enjoy, and that is something that gives them infinite amounts of energy. Like, for example, if you tell Sachin Tendulkar to play cricket all day, he won't mind. Or if you ask, whoever, Usain Bolt to run all day, he wouldn't mind. It wouldn't be a problem because they enjoy what they're doing. So it is very important that if, to the best of our capacity, if we can, we should choose, and we should go for a field that that we feel very close to, or that passionately, naturally pulls us. If we ask ourselves, there's always one or two things in life that naturally pull us. We don't have to, you close your eyes and you think, what can I see myself doing right now, and there will be something. And that typically should be the area that you should go for. But then if it is difficult for you to choose a path that that you want to pursue, if you're finding it confusing to choose among different paths, it is always advisable to seek the help of vocational psychologists, or any psychologist for that matter. We have tools and we have systems in place that we can help you out with choosing the right career path, and the right channels for you to succeed in. We can really help in choosing fields. Another thing that I would want to highlight, if there are students who are trying for IIT JEE, that again, if you don't get through IIT JEE Advance and all these entrance exams, it is okay. It is okay. If you feel that you could, if you feel that you know what you want to do, you know what you want to do. I mean, you know what you're interested in. Okay, you can do it. You can go ahead and do it from any college. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. The more we look at brands, the more depressed we'll get. The more we look at IIT JEE, the tag, the more depressed we will get. The more we look at what my friends are doing, the more depressed we'll get. If you have a friend who got into IIT JEE or AIEEE and you could not crack through any of these exams, you're going to feel like hell. You're going to feel really sad. You know. Yeah, thank you for the question. I'll get to the question part. Okay, I want lots of questions. I would love to address each and everyone's questions. Yeah, so comparison, when we compare, it gives us an immense sense of inferiority. Comparison is something that comes naturally to a lot of us human beings. But then comparison is something that really it turns out to be the worst habit that we human beings have, because it always ends up, either it makes us feel inferior, or it gives us a false ego boost that breaks, in the near future. It is not a driving force, but it is a disempowering force. Okay, it disempowers us. It's an energy leak. Okay, so beyond this, what can we do? What can we do to, if we are stuck, if we are really stuck with issues of mental health and that we are not able to resolve by ourselves? I mean, there are some situations in which we may not be able to really, help ourselves. We may not be able to come out of this deep dark depression that we are feeling. What should we do? First thing, do not self-diagnose. Do not Google your symptoms. Do not Google symptoms of depression. Do not Google symptoms of personality disorder or symptoms of anxiety disorder. And do not self-diagnose. Big mistake, big mistake. Because once you self-diagnose, you have already have made a set point. Okay, you have a set point, and then chances are, if you have a set point, things are not going to go okay for you in the future, because that itself will convince you to take some steps that are not correct. So it becomes a chain of wrong decisions. Except for the beyond, instead of that, do not self-diagnose. Instead of that, look for resources locally. Maybe psychologists or psychiatrists are plentiful nowadays, even though the number is not, it's not matching with the kind of demands that we see in India or in the world. But still, there are lots of resources available locally. If not locally, if you're in a place where there is a real apathy, a real dearth of mental health professionals, please go online. Look, there are lots of good resources online. A lot of online services are there. Our IIT students must be knowing Your Dost is a very good platform where you can chat and speak with mental health professionals online. And this is the day and age of online services. So, and it is helpful. It helps to a good extent. Or if you're having too much difficulty, you can even go see a psychiatrist. And there is no shame in going to see a psychiatrist. A lot of people feel, oh, if I go to a psychiatrist, are people going to think I'm mad? No, let me tell you, top scientists in the world, top professors in the world, top academics everywhere, even astronauts, lot of these top professionals in their fields, they too have mental health challenges, and a lot of them are on medication, and it is totally fine. It is totally acceptable. It is biology. Okay, see, if you have a high BP, I'm not going to judge you in any way. Oh, he has high BP. Oh, let us keep away from him. Oh, or he could be dangerous to us, or anything like that, right? So mental health challenges, if diagnosed, mental health psychiatric problems, if diagnosed, are completely treatable, and it is okay. Even if you have some mental health condition that you're taking medications for, it is fine. You will recover one day. You will recover. I mean, life goes on. People have achieved milestones, and people have changed the world while suffering from mental health problems. Please Google it. I mean, the list is endless. List is endless, absolutely endless. If you want to look at actresses in India, Deepika Padukone, severe patient of depression. Now she has recovered. Things are going okay. I mean, recently, well, though, things have not looked very good for her. But again, in between, or in her career trajectory, you can see that she has recovered. She has done some good work even after her stint with depression. Similarly, a lot of other people like Mika Singh, if you go to the where Winston Churchill, the wartime prime minister, uh, he was a severe depressive. I mean, but things improve, but things move on. I mean, time is not going to cut slack for you. Time is not going to be like, oh, this guy is having mental health challenges, let me go slow for him, or let me go light on him, or let me be kind to him. No, time doesn't care. Time doesn't wait for anyone. It will move according to its speed. But if we are facing problems, we have to take the responsibility in our own hands. The more we blame our partner, our boyfriends or our girlfriends or our family, our upbringing, our school, the society, the more we blame society, the worse we are going to feel. Because when we blame, we give the responsibility of the pain to others, to external. But then we have to realize, no matter what the society says, or no matter what our partners say, or what our family says, how I feel is my decision. Okay, these are all stimuli. How I feel is my decision. So the hurt that I'm feeling today, okay, the hurt that I'm feeling today is my creation. It is not created by society. Yeah, society has probably done its part Maybe my parents have not been fair to me. Maybe they weren't the greatest of parents. Maybe my friends have betrayed me in some occasions, broken my trust, or whatever. But the pain that I have felt, the pain that I have created, is something um, that I have to take the responsibility for. Okay, and then these things can be resolved. Always remember, guys. Always remember. I will give you a bottom line, the golden rule. Everything that is mental, everything that is psychological can be resolved completely. Okay, I'm not even sugarcoating it. This is the truth. It can be resolved. Okay, only thing is needed is you need to go through the right channel. Okay, you need to seek proper help and proper guidance. Things will be okay, perfectly okay. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. Even severe depressives, people with depression, I mean, this is reality. There are people hospitalized because of depression. 90% of all suicides in India are because of depression, undiagnosed or diagnosed. Sometimes you don't know, somebody who's looking extremely happy, suddenly you'll hear a bad news that they did something to themselves which is permanent. Okay, and you never knew that this person was depressed. But then from his face you can't make out because he's always so happy and jolly, you know. But what's going on inside is it's a different ball game. It's a different reality inside their heads, inside their skulls that we cannot see through. You know, the skull, whatever is going on is inside. Okay, only I know the drama that is happening inside. Whatever is outside, you can see it. Inside, completely different. It's a different ball game. So it is always advisable, if possible, to be kind to everyone, you know, if possible. Of course, there are times when some people might try to trigger you, but then we have to choose our response. You know, we cannot be reacting becomes a bad habit. You know, whatever somebody says, or if we don't like a person, we just react quickly, and then we feel really out of energy and we feel low. Okay, so it is best if we develop the habit of responding to situations, right? And with that, I think I have given you a little bit about what mental health actually is. And if his name Rajanandan, yeah, if Rajanandan can take questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. I want this to be an interactive session. I want to answer more and more number of questions. Whatever questions you have regarding whoever, no point, do not take names. It is fine. You can just ask questions as for a person X, no problem. Okay, we can do that as well. So can we take some questions, Rajendra? Is it possible? Am I audible, Rajendra? Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please,
So
you just
someone,
yeah.
yeah, someone has asked so-called X how to overcome the inferiority complex.
Right. Great question. So again, inferiority complex. When we say inferior, superior, two people. Okay, so one is a tomato, one is a potato. Okay, one is a tomato, other is a carrot. The two very different individuals. Every person is an infinity. Okay, every person's psychology is an infinity. I cannot compare myself with another human being. So if I do, there will be two situations, two possible situations. So person X, person Y. Okay, if person X is, if I perceive myself to be above this person Y, what's going to happen? I'm going to have a false sense of ego, or I'm going to feel jealous when this person rises in his career. Okay, I'm going to feel very sad and very depressed if this person does well. Or if this person tries to challenge me, I'm going to try to put him down even more. Okay, this is scenario one. Very bad for us. Very bad for us. Scenario one. Scenario two. Okay, if I perceive this person to be above me, then I have inferiority complex again. Now we all know, we have all faced this thing in our lives when we compare and we feel that this person is doing better than me. I feel inferior. Okay, then along with inferiority complex, a lot of other things also come, like poor self-esteem, loss of trust on yourself. Then we'll try to curse our luck. We'll try to curse our destiny. Why am I in this college? Why didn't I work hard? Why am I not as intelligent as that other person? Why I do not have reservation. That is also a very common thing that comes up. A lot of this frustration comes up like this. Okay, but these are all blame game, all blame game. Okay, so remember, never ever compare yourself with another individual. He has his own journey, she has his own journey. It has nothing to, no connection between me and her. Our journey is our two different journeys. If I look at his journey, I am looking at his journey. I'm not looking at my journey, right? So keep your focus on your own journey. Like it is like you're riding a bicycle, or forget a bicycle, you're riding a high speed sports bike, but you're also looking at the sports bike that your friend is riding. Okay, you're looking right, you're looking left, but you're not looking ahead. What's going to happen, right? You know what's going to happen. You're going to crash. That is what happens. This analogy is life. Okay, the more we look left, right, the worse it is going to end up for us. Okay, so have faith in your own journey. You will go places. Any individual in any career, in any part of the country or the world, in any situation, you look at your own journey, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And if you're not fine, you look for alternatives. You look for mental health professionals. You go look at, help yourself, look at some meditative books, etc., etc. Okay.
Thank you,
Should I?
sir.
Yeah.
Next,
Should I take the next
yeah,
question?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello, sir. I have a question. Uh, Actually, sir, whatever you said, these are something like symptoms, but how I can overcome with these kind of problems? Uh, s- Meaning, like I am feeling these kind of things. Okay, that person has these things, that person has these things, but again, that's a problem. But how I can overcome? How I can concentrate? Because if I have this kind of feeling, and then obviously it's very tough for me to understand what I have actually.
Great question. Great question. Great question. So what you're saying? How do I implement it? No. How do I
Yes, sir.
implement it? Now we have realized that comparing is probably in both situations it leads to negative effects for myself. How do I resolve this? No. How do I not look at him? Right? Is that what you're asking? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So simple, very simple. This is the crux of the matter is that I need to let go of this negative habit. Now see, letting go of this negative habit is one decision away. The more questions we ask on how to do it, what are the steps, what are the flow chart that I need to follow so that I stop comparing with myself, it doesn't work. Only in sciences flow charts work. In psychology flow charts don't work. Human mind doesn't work with flow charts. It works with decision that our buddhi takes, our intellect takes. Okay, it's one decision away. Decide honestly with 100% certainty that I will not compare myself with another person, the person B that I'm feeling a little bit of jealousy for, or the person X that I'm feeling that who's doing so much better than me and I'm comparing myself with him. I have to take one decision. The more I delay this one decisions thinking about how to do it, the more time we are taking to suffer. You understand what I'm saying? One decision, that I will not compare. If you take this decision with 100% unconditional honesty, you will be okay. Your problem will be solved. It's a guarantee. Okay, it is a guarantee. It will be resolved. Your problem will be resolved completely. You will stop comparing yourself with the other person once you decide that this is a bad habit, needs to go. Okay, so this is something that you need to do it and see. That is a flow chart. You need to do it and see. Do it 100% and see.
Okay, again, I have some question because at some point of my life, I may have feel that okay, that feeling is for my better, because like I'm not feeling jealous. Maybe I'm feeling like some I want to compete that person. I want to compete that person. Okay, maybe that kind of feeling. So how I can differentiate between that I am competing that person or I am jealous that person.
Great question. Great question. Great question. See, this is very interesting nuances of human psychology. Okay, how do I know the difference whether this is a healthy competition or is it a competition where I'm going to end up feeling low? Right?
Yes,
This is a very
yes,
valid
sir.
question.
Yes, sir.
Good question. So, see, as soon as there is another person in the equation, you know that a comparison has happened. You're either here. This is the person. You're either here or here. As soon as the other person comes, that itself will get you into the loop, the problem loop, the troubled loop. Once you're in this loop, either you're here, see, one day you're here and you work hard, you reach here, but you're still in the loop. You're still in touch with this person inside your head. Okay, this person, so if this person starts to rise, again you will get worried. Suppose he works hard again and he's here, again you'll get into that same loop of inferiority complex and you'll again feel jealous, you'll be in square one. So the Ramban, okay, the Brahmastra is that you decide to let go of this habit completely. See, moment you compare yourself with the other person, you're in trouble. Simple as that. Okay, there is no healthy competition. The kind of programming
Maybe,
that we do.
maybe I'm not comparing. Maybe it's kind of an inspiration.
Yeah,
That's a
cool,
question.
cool.
Maybe
See,
that's a question. Maybe again, it's a loop, as you said.
sure, man. See, if you're inspired, great. If you're inspired, great. Then there is no problem. But generally, if you ask yourself very honestly, I mean, this is something that you don't need to tell me or you don't have to tell anyone. These are all personal experience that goes on inside this bony structure. Okay, all the drama is inside this bony structure. Okay, so you don't have to tell me or you don't have to tell anybody. You have to ask yourself, why am I designing my life according to his design? You know, if he is successful, wonderful, great for him. My success, my definition of success is probably different or probably the same, but it is again my journey. मुझे सीधा देखना है. I have to look straight. The moment I look right, the moment I try to inspire myself, there could be problems. Okay, there could be problems. This is something that you have to ask yourself. Why am I looking at him and trying to judge whether I can achieve what he has achieved? Why? Can I look at my own journey and try to achieve what I want to achieve? No matter whether he's achieving or not is fine. Whatever he's done, it is fine. It doesn't concern me. I want to achieve this. I want to get into Purdue University. I want to get into UCLA. Okay, I want to get into Harvard, Stanford. He can also get into Harvard, Stanford, no problem. He can also get into Oxford, Cambridge, no problem. I want to get into Harvard because Harvard ka program is really good. PhD program is very good for me. Finished. End of story. You understand what I'm saying? You do what you want, you achieve what you want to achieve, and let him also achieve what he wants to achieve. I'm not going to look at him only. You understand? It is one decision away. Okay, Akanksha, you listen, you just experiment with it. Okay, you do it with 100% honesty, 100% commitment without conditions, that I am not going to look at him. I am not going to look at his career trajectory at all from today. Even though he's doing great, I am also going to do great. Let me plan the good, great things that I'm going to do. Bas, baat khatam.
Thank you.
Okay, Akanksha?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Akansha. Sir, I have a personal question actually.
Sure,
at some
Rajendra.
point,
Please tell me.
yeah, at some point, I used to feel like I have lost my interest in between. Like I'm in PhD now, so at some point I feel like why I'm doing PhD now. I don't want to pursue anymore. So, what do we do at that time? Should we stop doing what we are doing, or should we continue it?
Okay, so see, this it depends, huh? It depends. There could be a lot of layers to why you're feeling that. Why am I doing PhD? Okay, there could be a lot of personal reasons. I mean, this is something that we will have to discuss on a personal level. we will have to discuss. Okay, if you have time, sometime you just give me a call. We will discuss about how why you're having these kinds of thoughts, these opposing thoughts. Should I continue with PhD? My heart is not in PhD. Clash. But then at the end of the day, we have to decide. You either decide that ultimately there will be two decisions, that you want to be in PhD or you don't want to be in PhD. So you have to weigh it out. Not doing PhD, you take this route. Doing PhD, you take this. There are two routes. In both these two routes, here also there will be some positive, negative that I have to swallow, that I have to accept. Here also there will be some positive, negative that I have to swallow, that I have to accept. So positive and negative will be in both the channels. Okay, that is something I need to consider, and then I have to decide. Because once I've taken this route, there is no walking back to take this route. I have already taken this route. So I better be happy with the positives as well as the negatives. Right? But we will have to,
Yes,
if you want to better nuanced, specific guidance with that, then we welcome you to the center. Okay, we will sort it out for you.
Sure, sir. Thank you. So the next question is from Kamalakshi.
Sorry, my dog was barking. Yeah.
How to deal with stress caused by competitions in everyday life?
Great question. So again, this question directly is connected with what the other gentleman was discussing. The stress is nothing but this position. Okay, this position or this position. Okay, both these positions will lead you to stress. Either you're being egoistic, a false ego. So if you have a false ego, you will also worry that, oh, this person is rising. This person is rising. Then you'll start to think, oh, he's rising. What am I doing with my life? Soon he's going to overtake me, etc., etc., etc. A lot of these negative thoughts will start to come. Or if you're here, you'll want to come up, and you'll be worried, if I'm not able to reach his level, I'll be nothing in life, or I'm not good enough. Am I not talented enough? Both these situations are giving you stress. Okay, so this is the problem with having a competitive mindset, competition with another individual. Is such a better than this, a more adaptive, a more healthy psychological disposition is to choose what you want and pursue it, not to look here and there. Remember the sports bike, remember the bike, remember the two-wheeler. The more we look at what the other person is riding, the less focused I am on my own road ahead. Okay, and then there is going to be an accident which is going to be hurtful for me, right? So it is the same issue.
Sir, then stress can also be caused because maybe I have lots of work pending and I'm lost that what should I do, how do I do this, and stress builds up. And what do we do to deal with those kinds of stress then when we feel lost?
Okay, so when you say that when you feel lost, again, it will need to be looked at closely. Okay, there could be many layers to why you're feeling lost in your journey, in your PhD program, or in your academic life. If you're feeling lost, there could be a lot of different reasons. Okay, only when you discuss it in a setting, in a more confidential setting, I'll be able to reach, or I'll be able to sort it out for you. You will be able to sort it out for yourself, but the discussion will need to go a little bit deeper in a confidential setting. Okay, Kamalakshi?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Rajandan, which question should we look at next?
Next question is from Kankana. She is asking, what should be the family perception towards the patient who is suffering from
great question. Great question. Wonderful. Thank God for this question on world mental health. A very important question. See, family perception towards a patient who is suffering from mental illness should not be any different than for a patient who's suffering from a physical illness. Because honestly, scientifically, practically speaking, mental illness is also a physical illness. But we call it mental illness because the problem is in the psychology, or it manifests, or the problem is in the software. Okay, that's why we call it mental. Okay, mental, we call it mental, but the problem is actually in the brain, in the hardware. If it's mental illness, okay, if it's mental illness like depression or schizophrenia, or severe anxiety problems, or any of the other issues. Okay, so any see, if you had an accident, will your family judge you? Will they be like, oh, he's having some issue? Or would your neighbors talk, oh, she's having depression, she had depression, maybe she got dumped by someone, she had an accident, maybe somebody did this, did that? No, I mean, neighbors talk, people talk. When in India especially, people talk, oh, someone's daughter had depression, oh, someone's daughter has having schizophrenia, she hears sounds, she sees people who are not there, etc., etc. People gossip, and they can be very hurtful to the family members also. But the point is that it should not be any different. Mental illness needs to be treated as any other disease, any other bimari, any other illness, because it is exactly that. It is nothing different. Okay, but the only thing is that our human mind is conditioned to look at mental problems as something else. Okay, we end up judging individuals as being weird, or being crazy, or being pagal, or loony, yeah, all those names. But at the end of the day, it's a disease, and it can be helped with proper medication, proper counseling, proper family support, social support. It can be resolved. I believe that if families have this outlook, it is 80% of the problem is gone. 20% the patient's biology comes into the picture, right? Can we move on to the next question?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Chinmoy Chaudhary.
Next question is from. Yes, sir.
So how
he's
to
asking,
know if a person? Yeah.
He's asking how to know if a person is suffering from bipolar disorder.
Yes. So see, whereas when you say how to know if a person is suffering from bipolar disorder, see, there bipolar ke liye you will have two poles. Okay, one is an extreme high. The person will be unusually, unrealistically, irrationally excited about everything. He will make friends with anybody who's on the road, anybody who's asking him for any money. If a beggar comes to him and asks for 10 rupees, he'll give him 1,000 ka note, 2,000 ka note, he'll give it to him. Okay, that's an extreme level of irrational happiness, extreme energy. He will not sleep for 4, 5, 6 days. Today he is here. Tomorrow maybe he makes a plan to go to Manali, and from Manali day after tomorrow he is in Rohtang Pass, and after that he's at China border, and he doesn't remember any of it. Why he's taking these decisions? Crazy what we say, but it is not crazy. It is a mental health crisis. It's a problem. That's the up pole. Okay, the highs, the manic pole, we call it, the manic phase. And then there's depressive phase. Depressive phase is just the opposite. There will be days he will not be able to come out of the bed in the morning. He will not brush his teeth. He will not take a bath for months. Okay, and these things, it happens. Bipolar is very common in India, very common in the world, actually, very common. Very sad. Bipolar needs to be treated with utmost sensitivity, because people who are bipolar, they have very little control over how their mind is working. Very little control. But then to understand someone as having bipolar, it needs to be properly diagnosed by a mental health professional. Okay, by a psychologist, or by a doctor, by a psychiatrist. Proper diagnosis has to be made. so that there is, once the proper diagnosis is made, proper medication can be given, proper follow-ups can be given, it is okay. They will recover. Okay, a lot of bipolar individuals recover. They go on with their normal lives. You see, a lot of famous people have bipolar here. Lots of famous people, and they are able to continue with their lives with proper medication. Proper mood stabilizers or antipsychotic drugs. So many good molecules are there today to help patients with these psychotic illnesses. Okay, bipolar, schizophrenia, these are psychotic mood and psychotic illnesses basically. Serious but not impossible to fix. Okay, possible. It is possible to manage.
Yes, sir. So the next question is, what are your viewpoints about the introduction of artificial intelligence in mental health?
I am not sure what this question means. Is there a context where AI has been used in mental health? I'm not
Yeah, something like
aware
that.
of this really. Okay. See, I don't believe any programmable, any artificial anything, artificial intelligence or any artificial whatever could give any patient or any sufferer any kind of comfort. What can give comfort to a person who's suffering with suffering? Suffering means he's going through pain. Okay, who's going through pain because of mental health problems. Only thing that can give him comfort initially is ear. And by ear, what I mean is that an unconditional patient hearing, listening to the person. Most of the counseling we do is less with this, more with this. More you listen unconditionally, the more you empathize with the person, the more you say, okay, carry on, I'm listening. The more supported, the more energetic, the more healing will take place. Okay, so it is very important that we realize that nothing artificial can give you that kind of a feeling. Okay, I don't know if a chatbot can ever listen to you with that kind of understanding. That's all I can say with this. The first time I'm hearing with like AI being involved in mental health. I know of AI being utilized in research in psychology, in different academic topics and areas, but for mental health recovery, I doubt it. I have not read any research papers on that. Okay, good question though.
The next question is from Upasna. It's asking how to overcome OCD and deal with the normal life.
Yeah. Great question. OCD is a subtype of anxiety disorders. Okay, OCD, to others who do not know, OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder. The obsession part is here and the compulsive part is here. That means there are some repetitive thoughts in my mind that are called obsessions. We all know in popular culture, we're so obsessed with that phone, or I'm so obsessed with that boy, so obsessed with that girl. That means I have a loop thinking, I have some repetitive thoughts regarding that object or that person or that person's beauty or anything else. I can be obsessed with anything. Okay, anything. So that is the obsession part. Now the problem is there too. I mean, too much of obsession really affects our productivity and affects our health. But then other part is compulsion. Compulsion is when we do some action to satisfy this obsession. Okay, like if I have an obsession key, my hands are dirty, and this obsession doesn't go away even if I wash my hands once, even if I wash my hand twice, even if I wash my hand 5 times, 10 times, 20 times. Okay, this is not satisfied, and this becomes a habit. To satisfy this cleanliness, to satisfy this fear, this loop thinking regarding my hand is unclean, I continuously wash my hand, but it doesn't satisfy this, so it becomes a pattern. Similarly with other things, like at night if I try to sleep, I have to check the doorknob, the hook in the door of my hostel room 15 times. If I don't check 15 times, I will not be able to fall asleep. That is obsession and compulsion together. Okay, this is a little bit about OCD. So OCD can absolutely be helped. Okay, absolutely be managed, helped, and even removed to a very good extent. Complete healing is also possible. Okay, complete healing is also possible, but it depends. It depends on how much. It depends on the kind of help that you're getting. Sometimes with counseling, sometimes with some clinical work, you can really help your OCD. You can really manage it. But sometimes, as in with other subtypes of anxiety, it needs medication. It needs some benzodiazepines or some other kinds of other class of drugs that will help with this part. Okay, this obsessive loop thoughts, this repetitive thoughts, uncontrolled repetitive thoughts. If this is okay, then automatically my compulsions go down, because I have nothing to satisfy now. If this is gone, I have nothing to satisfy. So these medications help in this area. Okay, it helps you in your obsessions. It calms your obsessions, so that you have nothing to do now. Now you don't have any obsession to satisfy. So even the compulsions go away. So it is absolutely possible to deal with OCD and lead a normal life. It is absolutely possible. Lot of top scientists, it's actually interesting. Lot of top scientists in the world have OCD. You know Sheldon Cooper, right? Has anyone watched Big Bang Theory? He has lots of OCDs. You know, if you've watched the series, you know. And there's one interesting aspect here that I want to highlight. Lot of studies in top psychology departments in the world, a lot of research has been done, and it's seen that individuals with higher intellectual capacities, they have a higher vulnerability or a higher susceptibility to developing mental health challenges, especially things like OCD and anxiety disorders. So it is there. We don't know why it is there, but there is a correlation. Okay, there is a correlation definitely. Okay, can we go to Miss Pooja by Bishaya? Can we see your question?
Pooja Bishaya is, yeah, this thing, your talk is really motivating. Yeah, that's it. It's really motivating, sir. As a question, I feel like I am in a rat race with myself. I plan a goal, work hard towards it, and get it. And when I get it, instead of being happy, I again enter a race for the next, and looks goes on. And in the end, I am academically successful, but not happy. Why? And what should I do? Well,
Great,
he is
great.
a gold medalist, sir. He is my friend.
That's a very common. That's a very good question. Very good question. Okay, so again, it all comes down to how we attach the concept of happiness to achievement of goals. We say I'm going to be happy when I crack into Btech at IIT, and then I crack Btech at IIT, and I'm happy for a couple of days, and then Btech starts. I get assignments, I get loaded with work, I get loaded with club activities. Okay, I see my friends doing this, that. I'm not being able to perform, and I'm not so happy doing my Btech. Okay, I'm okay happy. Then I say that no, theek hai, ho gaya. So Mtech mein I'll try to do. I will try to qualify GATE or and get a high mark and go to the best Mtech program, and then I'll be happy. Okay, so I do that. I crack the GATE exam. I get into a very good Mtech program, and then when I reach that Mtech program, I enter the Mtech. I'm happy for a few days. I'm excited for a few days, but then it goes down. Okay, then it goes down. Okay, then I say, okay, theek hai, Mtech to, okay, it was okay, nice, I had okay, fun. Then I say I'm going to do PhD, and then I'm going to be very happy. Once I'm done, I have gotten into a PhD, my life is set. I will not want anything out of life. Bas PhD karna hai, I'll be fine, perfectly happy after that. Okay, and then and the same cycle goes on. So what we are doing is we are pushing our happiness forward and forward and forward into the future, infinitely. Okay, so what that causes is that a sense of dissatisfaction. Okay, instead, a more psychologically adaptive uh, outlook or habit would be to be satisfied with what I have right now. Okay, I'm satisfied, I'm happy, I'm okay. Okay, and then I'm also going to do something for the future. I'm going to plan something, and I'm going to hope, and I'm going to work for something in the future. Okay, plan it out. But it is not like, oh, agar if that plan doesn't materialize, because not all plans materialize according to our wishes, right? The more we get attached to future goals, the less we are happy right now in the present. So a better approach is you be okay and you be satisfied with what you have right now. Okay, and then you also try to work for the future. You just plan it out, look for good things in the future, and but not that agar wo nahi hua in the future, if that doesn't happen, I will not be happy today. If that is the thing, then I will not be happy. I will actually not be happy right now, and that is the kind of feeling that you're having right now. Okay, so happiness is not dependent on external things. Your academic career, see, if earning lots of money wouldn't the ingredient to a happy life, okay, then the richest people in the world would have been the happiest, right? Do you ever think about that? If we feel that if the way to happiness was unlimited fame and name, the most famous would have been the most happiest people. But that's not the reality. We see that the most famous people, the biggest celebrities on the planet, are actually not doing so well, and it comes out in public sometimes, and we say, "Are these are so rich, such rich people, world is at their feet. Why aren't they happy?" This is the thing. We think we attach the concept of happiness with external things. Okay, but that happiness is something that is within me. Okay, happiness is me. I have happiness. I do a lot of things to reduce my happiness, but if I stop doing those things, then my natural emotion is to be happy. I'm a happy being. I'm a happy soul. I'm a peaceful soul. The more we realize that, the less we will attach this concept of happiness with external things. Okay, this almost borders on philosophy. A lot of psychology started with philosophy. Now, after years and years of this field coming into existence, a lot of statistical method and a lot of these other ways of proving hypothesis, and it has now become a more structured, more scientific field. It started from philosophy. Psychology means the study of the soul. Right? Soul is something that we can't see, so it cannot be measured. Therefore, it is not scientific. Okay, so it borders on philosophy a little bit. Okay, but then if you really want to work on yourself, if you're not able to sort out a few things, then you're also most welcome to come and visit us. We will work on your issues, and we'll make sure that you come out, more adapted, more adjusted individual. Okay. Okay, this is written in Assamese. I'm not very comfortable with Assamese.
I will
Take me a long time to read it.
Nandini Kakati has asked. I will read it in Assamese first, then
Yeah.
you convert it to English. Sir, আপোনাৰ কথাখিনিৰ পৰা যথেষ্টখিনি উপকৃত হৈছো। এগৰাকী অসমীয়া মাধ্যমৰ ছোৱালী হিচাপে ইংৰাজী ভাষাটোক লৈ মানসিকভাৱে সমস্যাৰ সন্মুখীন হওঁ। তাৰ বাবে মানসিকভাৱে কেনেদৰে প্ৰস্তুত কৰিব পাৰি? She is an Assamese medium. She completed her education in Assamese. So now she is facing some mental problem with this English language. So how should she proceed with this?
Rajandan, can you read the last line? Tar babe
মানসিকভাৱে কেনেদৰে প্ৰস্তুত কৰিব পাৰি?
প্ৰস্তুত কৰিব পাৰি।
হয় হয়।
প্ৰস্তুত কৰিব পাৰি। Okay. So should I reply in Assamese or English, or how should I? What do you think should be the
you can
reply?
speak in Assamese or Hindi maybe. Maybe it will help everybody.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So Hindi, let me speak in Hindi only, okay, Nandini, because again otherwise I'll have to, it will take time to repeat the same thing again. तो मैं हिंदी में बोलता हूँ. So not knowing English can be problematic in two ways. Okay, not knowing English in India can be problematic in two ways. First thing is that there can be a communication gap. You will not be able to, probably if your English is not developed to some extent, you'll not be able to communicate your ideas academically or socially also. In some parts of India or in the world also, if you go, if you don't know, if you have very if your command in English is not proper, there'll be problems in communicating. That is one problem. Second problem is feeling a sense of lack, lack as in lacking. Like मुझे English नहीं आता, तो मुझे English नहीं आती, तो मैं am I not good enough कि मैं क्या मैं दूसरों की तरह उस लेवल पे क्या नहीं हूँ, is that what the question is, Rajanandan?
Yes, sir. So how to mentally prepare for it?
ओके. देखिए, बात तो यही है कि इंग्लिश को अगर हम इतना कमांड हम डेवलप करें कि अपने आइडियाज को कन्विंसिंगली और खुद अंडरस्टैंड करके हम कम्युनिकेट कर पाए, देन आई थिंक हमारा आवर गोल इज अचीव ना. अगर मैं अंग्रेजी में मैं जो बोलना चाहूँ, मेरे जो आइडियाज है और जो ओपिनियंस है, वो मैं कन्विंसिंगली और क्लियरली मैं अगर कन्वे करना चाहूँ, तो दैट इज एनफ, आई थिंक, मेरे हिसाब से. बिकॉज सी इन मेनी कंट्रीज, बहुत कंट्रीज यूरोप के और इन मेनी कंट्रीज इन एशिया, चाइना हो या जापान हो, even their academics are in their national languages, है ना. So if you go to Germany, English में तो बहुत कम ही बात होती है. Okay, lot of work is done in German. And if you go to China, even the medical students of China who go from India to study medicine in China, they have to know a little bit of Chinese. So the trick is to learn the language. It is not difficult. English जानने के लिए हमें प्री स्कूल जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. इंग्लिश हम सीख सकते हैं. इट इज अ वेरी सिंपल लैंग्वेज. मैं सीख सकता हूँ. Lot of online resources are there. I can work on my language. Language is a skill that can be developed at any point in life. Even a 70-year-old person can learn a new language. Even an 80-year-old, scientifically this is established. 85-year-olds can learn new difficult language. कोई संस्कृत सीखना चाहे 85 की उम्र में भी, he can convincingly, clearly learn the grammatical laws and the methods of speaking in Sanskrit. तो if you think, अगर आपको लगता है कि English जरूरी है आपके लिए, career के लिए, work on it. Lots of good apps are also there. Duolingo है on App Store. A lot of other stores are there. उससे आप अपने English को train कीजिए. বুঝিছা নন্দিনী? English to ভাল করিও মন গলে.
I am reading class 9 in Sankardev Sishu Niketan. I am reading class 9.
Okay.
कभी इंग्लिश समझ में आता है, लेकिन बोलने में थोड़ी तकलीफ होती है, इसलिए.
हाँ. नंदिनी, प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ेगा. You will have to read some books. You will have to অলপমান কষ্ট কৰিব লাগিব নন্দিনী. বুজি পাইছা? অলপমান কষ্ট কৰিলে একদম 110% কমান্ড আহি যাব ইংলিশত. It is not impossible, but only thing is that I have to put in that work. মই নিৰাশ হৈ গলে কাম নহবতো. Keep that hope alive that I will be able to learn English. It is possible. It is definitely possible. কৰিব পাৰিব. বহুতে কৰিছে. Lot of students in IITG who have come from very, very rural backgrounds, from very local boards where English was not the medium. They faced problems in their undergrad, but some of them they really put in work. কষ্ট दे बहुत मेहनत करते हैं, अपने इंग्लिश को डेवलप करते हैं, किताबें पढ़ते हैं. न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ने से भी बहुत अच्छा इफेक्ट मिलता है. नॉवेल्स, किताबें पढ़ने से अच्छा रिजल्ट मिलता है. ऑनलाइन में रिसोर्सेज बहुत है. ओनली थिंग इज दैट मुझे हार्ड वर्क पुट इन करना है. So those students also, they are able to confidently crack all their interviews. In English, not in their local language. In English, they are able to crack all these interviews, and they are able to settle in America, settle in Europe, wherever. So English as a language can be developed. Okay, Nandini, just keep on trying, keep on practicing. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know it's running out of time. Can I take 2 more questions, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Ashwini is asking, she's saying, thank you very much. Thank you for the much needed talk. My question is, how do we have a positive attitude when one has to deal with the neighbors, toxic people, everyone's in a fortnight, when it is affecting one's own personal growth and draining a lot of energy?
Yeah, good question.
This is really a personal concern.
Yeah, very much. Very relevant, very pertinent, very common. Okay, I will quickly highlight on what to do in this situation. So, in the beginning of the session, I discussed a little bit about response versus react. Okay, so when we so see, first thing is that we've judged these people as toxic neighbors. So as soon as we judge, we have created disturbance here. Okay, so as soon as we judge, but see, they are people and they are like whatever they are, whoever they are. Okay, but I have to choose how I'm going to respond to the toxicity. Sometimes I can't run. I will meet toxic people wherever I go. I can't hide. I can't run. I have to face them. But while facing them, what kind of thoughts am I creating? Am I creating negative thoughts? Reaction? Am I reacting to their behaviors? Am I being angry with them? That is under my control. So whenever you meet these toxic people, choose to calmly, choose to rationally decide what you want to say, how you want to handle, because you will not be able to change that person anyway. Even if you scream at them, even if you criticize them, even if you scold them, even if you beat them, even if you kick them, they will not change. Okay, so if they are not going to change, that does that mean I will keep thinking about them and keep disturbing my mind? No. Okay, my mental health is my responsibility. Okay, so let them be. I am also going to be. I am not going to react. I'm going to respond. If they are coming to my face and saying something, I'm going to calmly try to say whatever I want to say. Okay, so reaction versus response. That's why we say responsibility, no? Ability to respond. Okay, so this is in a brief nutshell. I can go on and on these topics, but I will just cut it short. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. Is that okay?
Yes. Yeah, one very nice comment from Sidananda sir. Don't hesitate. It's a foreign language. Mistake is obvious. So, but try again to correct the mistake.
I'm sure in his years of employment in IIT Guwahati, he has seen a lot of these cases as well. I'm sure. Yeah.
So I received a question from. Yeah. Okay. Abhi. So he's asking, whenever I talk with someone new or anything that involves in facing crowd, I starts to stammer. Is there anything to overcome it?
Right. Stammering is something that it is programmed early on in our childhood. So stammering is a result of anxiety, internalized anxiety during childhood. Okay, but it can be helped. I have seen to control stammering, if you spend 45 minutes twice a day, every day in front of a mirror, and you read something to yourself while you look at your face. Okay, that helps to a great extent. Great extent. I've seen that. Okay, it takes a lot of courage to actually come out in public and speak if you have a problem of stammering. But talking to yourself in front of a mirror really helps. It really helps. If not, if that also doesn't help, then I would say that you speak to a speech therapist. There are lots of speech there who are specialized to work with you one-on-one to help you with your stammering. Lots of breathing exercises are there. Okay, lots of meditative exercises are also there. They will help you with the stammering. They are more specialized with help because it is already, it has become an ingrained behavior in you to stammer. Okay, so that it can be helped. It can be helped. It can be helped for great extent. I've seen a lot of people recover fully from stammering, speaking completely from experience. Okay, it is completely manageable. Okay, nothing to worry. Look at some online resources for stammering. That will be best for you. People who are more specialized at handling that. Okay.
So one more question I received in WhatsApp. So she's a student preparing for JEE. She's 12 years old.
Okay.
No, she was preparing for JEE from 12 years. So she's devoting 4 to 5 years in this preparation.
5 years.
So yes, sir. So she's worried about the failure. If she fail, how will she convince herself that she has not wasted 5 years of her life?
Great question. Great question. So I would like to tell her that effort is in our hands. Result is not in our hands. Okay, result is never in our hands. Result is a result of our effort plus some unknown variable. There is always an unknown variable. You call it luck, you call it destiny, you call it whatever. But there is some aspects of the result that we are not able to control, no matter what. Even if you give 100% and you don't have one single inch left to invest into your effort, even then the result may not be 100%. 100% effort does not guarantee 100% result. Sometimes even the reverse happens. We give 70% effort, but we get 100% result. How does that happen? We don't complain when that happens. Sometimes we see that we didn't study much, but we got really good marks without even expecting. So we don't complain then. But what happens is when we give effort and when we are targeting a certain goal and that is not achieved, so what happens is that we get disheartened. Okay, in this case, do your best. I would like to tell that girl, do your best. No matter you've spent 4 years, 5 years, knowledge is knowledge. Okay, you've put in your best. Even after that, if it does not turn out, there's a good chance that it will turn out if you've put in so much effort. But if it doesn't turn out, then I will have to accept it and move on. Unless you accept it and move on, it will bury you. It will be like a huge load on your head. Like you see those coolies at railway stations now, how many suitcases they have on their heads? It will be like that. It will be like 10 suitcases on your head. You will not be able to move. You'll not be able to see other things. You'll not be able to move forward in life at all if you carry that weight. Okay, so you do your best. Rest, leave it. Rest, leave it to whatever you believe in, be it destiny, God, luck, whatever. But do acknowledge that there is a certain aspect that we have no control over. But effort, we have full control over. Effort, we can decide how much we want to put. Okay, that should be the mindset, so that at the end, you will not end up totally broken. Okay, remember the suitcases. Okay, do not carry suitcases. Okay, Rajnandan?
Yeah. So anyone want to ask any more question? I think they all are done.
Great.
So I would like to conclude, Rakesh sir. I would like to ask you to say some concluding words from you.
Concluding words as in like the very thing that I began with. The hope is beginning, hope is also the end. Okay, keep hoping that things will be better, no matter in what kind of darkness you are trapped in right now. No matter what kind of darkness, whether it is internal darkness or darkness of the situations around you, no matter what kind of darkness, you will come out of it. There are ways to come out of it, and you will come out of it. Never feel hopeless. Hope is the oxygen of the soul. Just like our body needs O2, our soul needs hope. So when that hope dies, hope finishes, sometimes because of biology, is in the cases of depression, hope dies. So when the hope dies, the body also follows. We want to end ourselves, right? So always supplement yourself with that tablet, with that H pill early in the morning. Every morning, give yourself the pill of hope every morning without fail. Okay, that will give you strength to carry on, to move on, to achieve your goals, to take care of your friends, to take care of your body, etc., etc., etc. Okay, and if again in future, if you have any problems, you're most welcome to come and visit us at the counseling cell. Okay, Center for Holistic Wellbeing is always open 24/7 for students. My number is on the website. You can call me without hesitation. This is just my job. You will not be disturbing me. Okay, you can just call us anytime. Okay, we are here for you. ठीक है, Rajnandan?
Great,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir,
This
so much.
session
Thank you so
was
much, sir.
this session was really interesting. Thank you for your
Thanks.
valuable talk and suggestion. And I am sure that students are motivated now and benefited from your talk. And thanks,
Thank you.
participant, for your interacting and active participation. Now we move to end to today's webinar. I request Dept to deliver vote of thanks on this event.
So, good evening, everyone. We have come close to today's two wonderful as well as meaningful sessions. On behalf of SPIE Student Chapter IIT Guwahati, it gives me immense pleasure to deliver vote of thanks to on and all that are present here. First, I would like to thank Professor Shubhradeep Ghosh, HOD of our department, for finding some time from his busy schedule and encourage us in such a positive manner. We remain grateful to the faculty advisor of SPIE Student Chapter, Professor Taraknath De. Although he couldn't be here with us in this event, his constant guidance has helped us to arrange such events. I sincerely thank our first speaker, Dr. Sidananda Sarma, for his valuable guidance on the topic of career options in science and technology. We hope at this hour this was very much needed for the young students who will be appearing in all those exams in near future. We hope the session has helped you to understand several opportunities in different fields. I'm also grateful to Mr. Rakesh Kakati for highlighting the importance of maintaining a sound mental health. A good physical and mental health is all that we need in order to achieve excellence in our individual lives. We hope this session was really helpful and an eye-opener one. My sincere thanks goes to the whole organizing team and all the members of SPIE Student Chapter for their tremendous efforts. I would like to mention Rajnandan, Akankshu, Partha, Raghav, Sampreet, Sanket, Shamit, Shashi for their continuous hard work to organize this event. Lastly, considering this unprecedented situation, it was indeed overwhelming to witness active participants no matter what the numbers are. I thank all the participants for making this event successful. I once thank the organizing committee for their contribution that has made this virtual event a successful one. Please stay safe and keep shining. Thank you.
Thank you, Dept. Great. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you being here. There are few announcements which is to be made by Rajnandan.
Okay, tomorrow we are going to have another talk on this event, Iron Man to Spider-Man, What If They Were Teachers? It will be at 6 p.m. Mr. Sandeep Pathak will give a talk on science behind superheroes. I'll be very happy if you guys join this event. And we are also hosting 2 competitions, which is parallelly going on. If you want to participate, you can see the descriptions in the, of the video, and hope to see your participation. And this is the feedback link to get your e-certificates. Kindly fill this feedback to get the e-certificates. Thank you again. And with this, we end the session. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sida sir. Thank you, Rakesh sir. Thank you, everyone. again.
Thanks again for joining us today, and we will see you tomorrow. Till then, bye bye. Stay safe, stay healthy.